Hey everybody, Joel Colander here for Rock Island Auction Company, and we're in our preview hall as you can see, but it's not going to be our typical preview hall walkthrough. If you've watched our videos for any length of time, you know that we like to show off the preview hall the morning of preview day, just to show it all set up, to show what a preview hall looks like at Rock Island Auction Company. And we do a live walkthrough, and we kind of do a brief overview of the guns, and that's all well and good, but this auction deserves something more. It is an absolute blockbuster of a summer sale, and to do so warrants extra consideration, not only because of the type of the sale, but also because we have time. As you know, this auction was postponed from our May dates to those June 5th, 6th, and 7th dates, so we have some extra time, so we thought we'd show you around and show you just how impressive a preview hall is here at Rock Island Auction Company. So because this preview hall warrants some extra consideration, we're going to do more than just the preview day sort of live walkthrough that we do. We're going to actually cover some segments of the preview hall to show you just the work that goes into setting it up, how amazing the firearms are, and just the quality of the items that are generally available in a premier firearms auction. So we're just going to cover them briefly. Obviously, we're not going to cover 30 guns in the span of one video, but definitely worth checking out. In fact, why don't I start just on the lower rack right next to me. French RSC 1917 right next to a British Enfield sniper rifle, and there's actually several in this sale that are fantastic. So if you've been looking for one of those, by all means, please search the catalog. That's on rockislandauction.com. Really good search feature, makes it easy to find what you're looking for. Whether it's HKUSC, I see some FS2000s. Oh, we have L1A1s, ooh, and a very nice Colt SP1. In fact, the serial number on this is SP00466, so that's going to be pretty early. And for those of you who are licensed curio and relic collectors, you know what that means. There's a couple perks to having that, but it's always fun to see the early designs, without the shell deflector, without the forward assist, just some of the early features on the receiver as well. That's a fun gun to see. Like I said, within the first 4 feet of walking in the preview hall, that's should be very encouraging to a lot of collectors. Just a couple guns down. Here's a Russian SVD sniper. It's or a designated marksman rifle, depending on how persnickety one is. And that reminds me of one that we've passed already, and I think is probably one of the coolest on this lower rack. Now you look here and you see, oh yes, that looks like an SVD, and you notice this big paper that's attached to it. Well, we include that for a reason. It's so people know the significance behind this gun, and this paper indicates this is a registration of war trophy firearm. So this SVD, as is indicated, lists the normal things we'd expect: the serial number, the caliber, country of manufacture, Russia. But this is actually a bringback from Southeast Asia, specifically a Vietnam bringback. Now, if you look at the catalog, this happens to be lot number 530. There are a lot of accessories, a lot of really cool things that come with this firearm. So if you think SVDs and the Russian sniper designated marksman rifles are cool enough on their own, boy, this one, the cool factor is just through the roof, and it has the paperwork to prove it as well. That's just probably one of the highlights here on the low rack. Now, if we go up top, so a horse of a different color, so here we have a lot of military arms or civilian versions of military arms, a lot of times both. Here we have a lot of Winchesters, a lot of lever actions, a lot of 19th century American goodness. Starting with lot 3, a beautiful Winchester 1886 carbine. And if you think maybe Winchester lever actions aren't your thing, maybe some of these old American guns, they're just not quite your bag. Let me tell you, when you pick one up, it's a different feeling. And it's not just because the feeling you get, not because of the romance with the Old West. If you cycle these guns, so we're going to cycle it carefully, but there is, what it's like. If you've handled a number of firearms, you know what it's like to handle a quality firearm. And friends, this is quality that hails from almost a century ago, and you can still feel that fine machined. All those parts are smooth. It just cycles the way it's supposed to. The trigger is fantastic, and this is not new technology, guys. In fact, it's technology, not only is old, but it comes in a heck of a package. We have walnut. We have this beautiful case hardened frame. We have a loading gate with still the niter blue on it. You have the blued top of the frame here, and it's just, that's smooth, guys. That's smooth. There's definitely appeal to these 19th century American firearms. If you think they're not your bag, I encourage you, pick one up, because it is, but be careful, it can become an addiction. So not only do we have an 86 carbine, I mean, just looking down the rack, I can tell there's, we have 66s, we have 73s, we have 76s, we have, an 86, we have 94s, there was a 92, this is a 92. So we have the full gamut of 19th century Winchesters here for you to pick up, for you to compare condition, compare different configurations. What's a deluxe configuration look like with its checkered grip and sort of semi-pistol grip stock versus a standard configuration with a straight grip with maybe a raised comb on the cheek piece with just bluing versus case hardening. It's truly an education to come here and be able to compare these things with either guns you're very familiar with or maybe guns you're not as familiar with. Also on the top rack, and maybe you can see it from here, it's kind of the elephant on the rack, there's two Porter turret rifles. Now if you've seen a Porter turret rifle, there are videos of them online. Obviously when people were trying to design repeating firearms, and there was no real good way to do so, yet any design was on the table, a lot like Civil War carbines, any way to make a repeater. Well, the Porter turret rifle did so with a large turret, sort of instead of like a revolver where they're all linearly the same, they're parallel with the bore. This is more of a radial chambers coming from the center, so all these things point in different directions. Well, probably not a good idea in the event of a chain fire. That'd be pretty dangerous. So not only can you see a Porter turret rifle in a third model, so what this would look like with percussion caps, but right next to it, in lot 13, happens to be a Porter turret rifle first model. And you can see how that would work with pill primers with mercury fulminate, and where that magazine was kept, and how the design changed, and just how the gun how the gun's features would have worked differently, and the cosmetics of the guns. You get to compare these at a preview day. I know I said I was only going to cover about 10 or 12 linear feet, but it's kind of hard to know where to stop. Even to my left, we have Japanese sniper rifles, Japanese paratrooper. In fact, there's 3 Japanese paratrooper. There's a German G41 using its bang system. Like, we could just go right down the way. And if we wanted to continue on Winchesters, we could just kind of continue down this way. There's a Sweet Harvard 95. There's just things to look at. It's easy to get distracted here. And if that's not an indication of, and I work here for Pete's sake, and so I get to see a lot of guns. Like, if you think you're not going to find things that you wouldn't enjoy looking at a preview day, I urge you to come. I'd be happy to prove you wrong anytime. Again, we are open to the public. Preview day, that is June 4th. The auction's June 5th, 6th, and 7th. All of them are open to the public. We'd love to see you here. If you can't make it, hop on to rockislandauction.com. But most importantly, stay tuned. We're going to be walking around the preview hall and showing you all sorts of sights from the June 2020 Premier Firearms Auction.